Hi guys, it's Christine. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making homemade lasagna with homemade Bolognaise sauce with my boyfriend. Let's just get right into the video. You're going to want to mince up the mushrooms, the onions, celery, garlic, and carrots, and you're going to want to take your bacon strips and cut them into small little rectangles. You're then going to want to take your whole Plum tomatoes can and put it into a little mini blender. Blend it all up until there are no chunks of tomato left. You're then going to want to grab your onions and your bacon and throw that into a little pan and cook it over top of the stove. So now we're going to be cooking the ground pork. I chose ground pork because that's what I already had at my house. So you're going to add a little bit of water, then you're going to put all the ground pork in a pan and cook that all up. Our ground pork was a little frozen because I took it out the night before, but it didn't defrost enough. Now you're going to cover the ground pork, and you're also going to cook the bacon a little longer to make sure it's fully cooked. Then you're going to throw your ground pork after it's done cooking into a huge little saucepan. And you're going to add your bacon and onions to the ground pork in the pan. Well, it's actually a pot. And then you're going to add your celery and carrots into the pot as well. You're just going to mix that all together. You're also going to add the mushrooms. Then going to add tomato sauce. And then mix that together with all the other stuff that's in it. We use the chunky ragu tomato, garlic, and onion pasta sauce. And now I'm just gonna get it open. We weren't gonna put the whole thing in, but then he just decided to go for it, and it turned out really well, as you will see. And then you're just gonna mix that all together. Then you're going to add a cup of chicken broth and a little dash of a white wine. We only had the Wild Vines wine in my house, but you want to grab a white wine instead. This just made it more fruity. It didn't taste bad, but totally up to you. Then you're just going to want to mix that together. And now you're going to add in some basil leaves. Also going to want to add in some oregano leaves. And then you're going to want to put some salt and as well as some pepper in there. Going to mix that all together. And there's the pepper. It may look like a lot, but it wasn't that much. After you've mixed it for a while, you're just going to want to cover it and cook it for 45 minutes. And now we're going to make the Béchamel sauce. It's like a white sauce, and you're going to be using some white onions for this. You're just going to slice them very thinly, but you're not going to mince it. You're going to want a bar of unsalted butter. So you're going to want to add about 4 tablespoons of butter to a pan. Then you're gonna wanna melt the butter, but keep stirring it so it doesn't burn to the pan. You're gonna wanna grab about 4 or 5 tablespoons of flour and mix that in with the butter until you can't taste the flour anymore. And then you're just going to want to pour 2.5 cups of milk, whether it be partly skimmed, fully skimmed, 2%, whatever kind of milk you like. You're going to put 2.5 cups in a microwave safe container, and then you're going to throw it in the microwave for 60 seconds. For the bechamel sauce, you're going to want to add the flour and butter you've already done. Put it into a little pot. You're going to want to add the milk that you had heated up. You're also going to want to add the onions that you've cut up. And then you're also going to add some pepper to taste. And then you're just going to give it a little mix. Now to start the lasagna, you're going to want to grab like a lasagna tray. And you're going to want to coat the bottom with the leftover tomato sauce that you have. You're also going to want to get the oven ready lasagna noodles, and you're going to want to place them on the bottom of the tin tray you have. After you're done with the lasagna baking sheets, you're going to want to shred some smoked mozzarella over top. I'm now going to be preparing the next lasagna, so I'm just putting the tomato sauce on the bottom of the pan, and I'm moving that around so it coats the entire bottom. Then I'm gonna add my lasagna sheets. And I'm gonna cut the end one to size. And then just place it on. Now for the second lasagna, for the bottom layer, you're gonna wanna add your Bolognaise sauce. So that was the meat sauce that had to cook for 45 minutes. And you're just gonna thickly layer that on for the bottom layer of the lasagna. I couldn't find a good angle for me to film putting together the lasagna, but basically you're going to want to alternate the layers, one with the meat sauce and the shredded mozzarella, and then one with the white sauce that we made. And then when you're done, you're going to want to coat the top with the meat sauce and some shredded mozzarella. And then this is what the finished product looks like after it was in the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes.